Right now at noon, the latest on the school shooting in Minnesota. How the FBI is investigating this as a case of domestic terrorism. Plus, the Wisconsin Badgers kick off the 2025 season tonight. We're live at Camp Randall with what you need to know before you go. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Spreiter. Right now, the FBI is investigating the deadly shooting at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. 2 children were killed and more than a dozen others hurt when a shooter opened fire during morning mass. Nydia Cavazos reports.
Mourners set up tributes this morning to the young victims of Wednesday's deadly shooting at Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis.
Where's the shooter?
Terrifying footage provided to CBS News by a parent shows panicked children running out of the chapel moments after a shooter opened fire during morning mass. 2 children, just 8 and 10 years old, were killed.
This is an unspeakable tragedy. Thoughts and prayers, they're certainly welcome, but they're not enough. These kids were literally in church praying.
5th grader Weston Hall's knee says he ran and hid under a pew after he heard the gunshots.
My friend Victor saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit. And I hope he's good in the hospital.
The shooting happened on the students' 3rd day of the school year. Police say the shooter, 23-year-old Robin Westman, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. According to police, Westman had been a student at the school, and the shooter's mother had also worked there in the past. Investigators say they are not looking into a video it appears that Weston made.
We're also aware of a manifesto that the shooter had timed to be released on YouTube. That content has since been taken down.
Investigators say the video contains weapon inscriptions with hateful, disturbing messages targeting blacks, Jews, Hispanics, and President Trump. The investigation is also digging into writings from what seems like the shooter's journal, including sketches of a church and rows of pews. The FBI says the case is being investigated as domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. Nydia Cavazos, CBS News, Minneapolis.
5 years ago, Westman sought a legal change of name from Robert Westman to Robin Westman. Police say Westman had no criminal history and was carrying 3 guns, all legally purchased at the time of the shooting. More local news now. New details about a complaint against 37-year-old Andrew Showers. He's the Madison area priest facing accusations of child sex crimes. The diocese says a review of Showers' record shows a parent filed a complaint in 2021. The parent raised concerns about what Showers may have asked a middle school boy during confession. After meeting with Showers, authorities decided not to press charges at that time. Over the weekend, Clintonville police arrested Showers. Police say he attempted to meet up with a 14-year-old girl there. The retrial of Devontae Gafford is now in its 3rd day. Gafford faces felony charges for the shooting death of Devon Grant at the Harmony Apartments on Madison's east side in 2023. So far, the court has heard testimonies from acquaintances of the victim and relatives of Gafford. Police officers, detectives, and investigators testified about the details on the scene. Gafford testified during his first trial. There is a chance he will take the stand again today. Happening today, Vice President J.D. Vance will be in La Crosse, Wisconsin. He says it's to visit a steel fabrication facility for talks about the impact of President Trump's budget bill on manufacturing. The stop is part of a wider tour through swing states, including Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. Democratic leaders indicate they will protest today's visit. Right now, the Trump administration is trying to oust the new CDC director, Susan Monterez, but she says she is not stepping down. The White House says in a statement she's not aligned with the president's agenda of making America healthy again. Attorneys for Monterez say she's not resigning, and they're contesting the firing because of the notification coming from a White House staffer, not the president himself. At least 3 other top CDC officials publicly resigned after the announcement. The chair of the Senate Health Committee, Senator Bill Cassidy, says the departures will require oversight, and a ranking member, Bernie Sanders, is also calling for a hearing. Well, now first look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Savannah Brito, also rocking her Badger red today. Go Badgers!
Go Badgers. On Wisconsin, we'll both be out at that game later. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully Wisconsin can bring home a win. Highs are staying in the 70s going forward. That's where we're sitting right now too. Very, very comfortable weather. Few showers Friday morning. That's possible. It'll be similar to this morning. Not everyone will see that rain, but a few of us across southern Wisconsin could. And then Labor Day weekend looking good. We'll see a mix of sunshine and cloud cover, dry weather, but temperatures, those are going to be a tad bit on the cooler side, very similar to what we're seeing outside right now. 72 in Madison, 73 in Oregon, 74 in Verona, 75 in Sauk City. You can see where the cold front is though, a little bit cooler air just off to our northeast. Juneau's only sitting at 65 right now and 65 in Watoma. We'll talk about when we're going to see some warmer temperatures and also time out the rain chances Friday and going forward through the weekend. I think most of the weekend's looking dry. It's just really early next week to midweek, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe that we see those first showers. Are you going to get out on the water this weekend, Josh?
That's the plan. I have family coming to town, although it's going to be a little cool, but we'll make do.
It's okay. Sweatshirt, right?
There you go. Can always throw more layers on. All right, Savannah, thank you. Well, hey, we are now less than 8 hours away from Wisconsin football. Tonight, the Badgers will face Miami of Ohio under the lights at Camp Randall Stadium. Armand Rahman continues our live coverage today outside of Camp Randall. Hi, Armand.
That's right, Josh. You know, it's never too early to bleed Bucky. And then Camp Randall here is definitely getting underway for game day later on tonight. You can see a couple of the kind of game day carts and staples going on, some signs going up. Monroe Street will obviously be closing here in just a little bit. And I'm seeing a lot of Badger gear on the people as we walk by. So this neighborhood of Madison that is ready for Wisconsin football tonight, and good that it is because it is a historic game. The last time that these two squared off, UW-Madison and the Miami of Ohio, it wasn't even close. It was right here at Camp Randall in 2015, so this is historic. Quarterback Joel Stave threw for 3 touchdowns on the Badger defense, tallied 3 interceptions, and held Miami to only 157 total yards. In the end, Bucky blew out the Redhawks 58-0. Now that was Paul Christ's first home win as head coach. However, this Red Hawk team is actually a little bit different. Last season, they did finish second in their conference with 9 wins. So we'll see if Bucky can continue that streak that they had 10 years ago with the Red Hawks. And we'll have more on the game later tonight on at 4, 5, and 6. Then be sure to tune in to News 3 Now tonight for special live coverage ahead of kickoff. Sports Director Andrew Banstra and Eric Franke will get you ready with Wisconsin Game Day live from the UW Fieldhouse at 6:30 leading up to the game. They'll break down what's new for the team and at Camp Randall this year. Then stay tuned at 7 for a more in-depth breakdown of the team and season. And if you're tailgating, don't worry, you can catch that on streaming on Channel 3000 Plus as we gear you up for everything game day. A couple of notes, like I said, be sure to watch out for those street closures later tonight. Also, the gift shop over at Camp Randall won't open until 4:30, and you will need a ticket to get in tonight because it is game day. New tonight at halftime, there will also be a special light show using the stadium's new LED system and special light-up bracelets that you see at concerts. You know, Camp Randall just hosted Coldplay for their concert here, and those numbers were crazy, and it had a lot of cool little features and light shows there. So we'll see if Bucky can bring the same amount of fanfare as Chris Martin did. Who knows, maybe Bucky will be in the Jumbotron like that one CEO was at that other Coldplay concert. But we'll have to see that later on tonight. For now, reporting live outside Camp Randall on game day, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
All right, Armand, thank you. If you live or drive near Camp Randall, expect delays before, during, and after the game. Breeze Terrace and Monroe Street will be closed from 2 this afternoon to around 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. North Randall Avenue remains closed due to the ongoing construction. After the game, expect traffic restrictions near Regent Street between about 11 o'clock and midnight. All vehicles must turn right and exit outbound to help clear traffic from the stadium area. And be aware, there are areas where parking will not be allowed. They are westbound on Monroe Street, westbound on Regent Street, and eastbound on Johnson Street. Bus detours will be in effect all day for routes 82 and routes D and O. You can find all those details right now on channel3000.com. New this year at Camp Randall, you can now tap to scan your tickets. It's kind of like tap to pay. To access them at the gate, open your Apple Wallet or Google Wallet and select your mobile tickets, then tap to scan. Screenshots of tickets will not be accepted. You can download at go.wisc.edu/download-my-tickets. And if you're not entering the game with your group, you must transfer their tickets to them. You can do that on the Badger app or at go.wisc.edu/transfer-my-tickets. Coming up next on News 3 Now at noon, how Chipotle is helping some student athletes ahead of the school year. Plus, why Ford is recalling thousands of pickups and what impacted owners can do to fix the issue.
Ford is recalling more than 350,000 pickup trucks over an instrument panel issue. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the panel can fail, which means drivers may not see critical information like vehicle speed or warning lights, increasing the risk of a crash. The recall affects some 2025 and 2026 F-Series models, including the F-150. Impacted owners can take the vehicles to a Ford dealership for a free repair. OpenAI says it's making changes to ChatGPT that include protections for vulnerable people and minors. Parental controls will be included in those additions. The announcement came after the company was sued this week by the family of Adam Rain, a 16-year-old who took his own life last spring. The lawsuit alleges the chatbot engaged with the teen on suicide methods, and it claims that the company chose not to enact safeguards, despite knowing that some people can become emotionally attached to its bots. In a statement, OpenAI expressed sympathy to the Rain family and said it is reviewing the legal filing. And just in time for week 1 of college football, Chipotle has announced a new partnership to fuel some student athletes to victory. The chain is giving gift cards to around 2,000 athletes at The Ohio State University, University of Florida, and University of Georgia for free Chipotle meals throughout their entire sports seasons. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is up 6 points, NASDAQ up 82, and the S&P 500 up 14 at this hour. We'll have your farm numbers straight ahead, and Savannah is tracking the first warn forecast for Badger football tonight. Then later on Live at 4, our live team coverage continues at Camp Randall Stadium, getting you ready for kickoff. Pam Yankey's out of the radio barn this afternoon, so here are your farm numbers. Well, of course, a big night of football ahead. Here's meteorologist Savannah Brito with the first warn forecast, and it's looking good.
Yeah, it sure is. Our temperatures this afternoon are sitting in the 70s, and we've got a lot of sunshine. That cloud cover after the morning rain did not even hold up across southern Wisconsin. Beautiful evening ahead. 72 right now in Madison, 73 in Oregon, 74 in Perry. Most of southern Wisconsin is seeing that. There are a couple of cooler spots. You can see wherever that yellow is versus the orange. That's kind of where that cold front's stopping at this point, dropping our temperature to 65 in Juneau, 65 in Watoma, 66 in Waukesha. So our cooler temperatures just to our north and also east. The football forecast is looking good. Dry weather. We'll have partly cloudy skies. It will be a little chilly because after that cold front clears the area, our temperatures are going to drop pretty fast overnight. 65 for the kickoff, 61 at halftime, 59 or so. I think some of us could already be down to the mid 50s at that point, about 11:30 at night later. But the winds are going to gust up to about 15 miles per hour. So it might be a tiny bit of a wind chill factored in too. Probably going to want to have at least a sweatshirt or a light jacket. Shower chances, those are going to return for some tomorrow. I think it'll be very similar though. The cold front looks to stall a little bit. This is about 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. So I do think we could be having to deal with a couple of showers That'll be the case into early Saturday morning too. However, further after that, the rest of Labor Day weekend, we're tracking mostly dry conditions, a mix of sunshine and cloud cover. Temperatures are going to stay below normal all weekend, 72 on Saturday, but then we actually look to get a little bit more sunshine and warmer temperatures. We're back up to 76 on Labor Day Monday. So yes, the forecast could always be hotter. Sometimes we see the 90s. We're outside on the lake. I'm still going to be on the lake for sure. I know Josh is too, but you know, you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's cold. I know on a Labor Day, I wanna say like, it was either 2 or 3 years ago, I had a sweatshirt and sweatpants on. So it's kind of a toss up, but mid 70s, I'll take it.
I see some 60s though later next week.
I know, after that, we got another cool down, unfortunately.
Right. Thank you, Savannah. Well, today Howard's working on a salad that he says will knock your socks off.
In the summer, we love trying all different kinds of salads. Sure, we have our favorite potato salad and coleslaw recipes, but every now and then we want something that will really stand out. You know, a real showstopper. Well, you're in luck, because the tortellini salad we're making today is just that. We start by cooking some tortellini according to the package directions. Using a cheese-stuffed tortellini works great as a simple side salad, yet it's hearty enough to be a main dish. After it's drained, we add some sliced pepperoni and salami, diced provolone cheese, and to give it color, cherry tomatoes, black olives, sliced red onions, a few artichoke hearts, and a bit of chopped parsley. Now we drizzle this with a homemade red wine vinaigrette and give it a good toss. We could serve this as is, but I think it's even better if you chill it a bit before setting it out. This summer salad has everything you could want. It's easy, it's colorful, it's tasty, and it feeds a crowd. To get the recipe for our new Italian tortellini salad, all you have to do is visit our website. And let me assure you, this is loaded with flavor. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a pasta perfect way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
After the break, we'll introduce you to our Pet of the Week from the Dane County Humane Society. Time for Potentially Yours on a Thursday afternoon. Lisa Bernard from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our furry friend of the week. This is Scruffy.
Hello, we have Scruffy.
So cute.
And we're having lots of fun playing with Scruffy, who is
Very active.
Very active, super into this toy, likes string toys a lot, and he prefers the string compared to the mouse, so that's why I'm playing with it in reverse. But Scruffy is 2 months old, almost. He was found with his 3 siblings in Madison and brought to DCHS last month, about mid-month, and they weren't ready to be adopted yet. They were still too young. They needed time to grow, so we placed them with one of our foster families. And they grew and showed some personality and very sweet, very snuggly. He's been purring up a storm.
Yes.
Loves the attention.
Fun. Yes, yes. Curious as well, super cute. And he's looking for a new home. So he and 3 of his siblings are available. 2 of them are currently in surgery to be spayed. He still has to get neutered, but and then 1 has a hold already.
So what kind of family do you think would serve Scruffy well?
I think any family who wants to have a fun little active, curious kitten around. You know, he's going to get into some things, so you've got to kind of baby-proof the house a little bit. Keep an eye, have some fun toys and scratching posts, appropriate things for him to chew on and to scratch on. But he's going to be so much fun. You could adopt them together, or you could adopt them separately. And I think, too, he'd enjoy a friend, too, if you wanted to add a friend to your home and you already have another cat. So
well, the nice thing is too, like when they're so young, you can kind of like fit them for your own home, right?
Exactly.
Do you think he'd do well with other pets too?
Oh, I think so. His foster has adult cats and he'd do well with them.
Don't sit back.
I know. I just don't want him to escape.
So tiny yet.
Yes, so tiny. And, because he's so small, you might want to start him off in one smaller room, like a bathroom or a bedroom. Make sure you have his litter box available. And then keeping his water bowl and food bowl around, but not super close to the litter box.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for introducing us to Scruffy. We appreciate it. Hey, there's still time to support animals at Dane County Humane Society when you purchase socks. You can choose from a variety of designs featuring animals, food, and other fun looks for kids and adults. You can order through a special link on the DCHS website, and a portion of every purchase goes to support animals in need. Good news on last week's pet. Lizzie the dog was adopted. We knew she was. She had a heck of a smile. So if you're interested in adopting Scruffy or checking out other animals at DCHS, just go to giveshelter.org. Good day to get outside.
Yeah, it sure is. Temperatures are beautiful. They're sitting in the lower to mid 70s across most areas. It's a little bit cooler to our northwest. We'll still rise. Most of us are looking at the mid 70s. Lots of sunshine. We had some showers on our drive into Camp Randall this morning. Now, Josh, there's nothing but sun.
I love to see it. Thanks for joining us today at noon. More Badger coverage ahead of opening day coming to you at 4, 5, and 6.